All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's Heroes Connect Military to Manufacturing event, where we're continuing the conversation with a few more wonderful manufacturing companies who value your talent. Let me first introduce myself. My name's Katie, and I'm a senior manager with the Heroes Make America program, and I'll be moderating today's event. Today, we're highlighting, so today's fun because we're actually highlighting a couple different companies. First, we're going to kick it off with the Plastics Pipe Institute, and they actually brought two of their member companies, Performance Pipe and Pipeline Plastics. There's a lot of P's in the names today. So we do have Performance Pipe and Pipeline Plastics. So you'll hear from both of them today. Although you may not have heard of them, you probably have used one of their products without even knowing it. We're actually here today to not only connect you as a job seeker with employers who are actively looking to hire, but more importantly, we aim to help our broader military community better understand the manufacturing industry. This is a prime example of a subsector of the industry where we don't think about just how big of an impact they have on our lives because they work in the background to ensure that our infrastructure and so many other things are moving the way that they should be. So super cool that we're here to learn about these companies today. Before we jump into the event, though, I do want to review some housekeeping items. First off, the event is being recorded because it'll be sent out as a recap email. So because of that, please do stay muted throughout the presentation to minimize any background noise. But although our mics are muted, I still encourage you to be an active participant. Utilize that chat feature. So if you have any questions throughout the presentation, drop it in the chat. We'll circle back to Q&A at the end, and I'll read through your questions, and we'll get those answers from the folks who are best suited to answer it here from the companies today. All right, so before we jump into today's event, if you happen to not be familiar with Heroes Make America, we are a DoD-approved skill bridge program that's open to transitioning service members, veterans, reservists, National Guardsmen, and military spouses. So if you're military affiliated, you can come through our program. We provide a variety of certification trainings, equipping our students with rewarding careers in the manufacturing and supply chain industry. You can see here our program managers and the 4 current training pathways that we offer, which those are in manufacturing operations, logistics, airframe and power plant, and industrial systems. We'll drop in our contact information into the chat so you can connect with us and ask any questions that you have. The last thing I want to be sure to mention before I pass it off to our presenters today. So in addition to our SkillBridge trainings, we do also host a variety of other events. So we have these almost weekly virtual Heroes Connect events where we bring in one company to highlight each week. We have a veteran learning series with different topics. And then we also do in-person and virtual career fairs. So if you happen to be in the Kansas area, we do have one next month on April 10th. It's going to be hosted out of Fort Riley in Kansas. You can see here the companies who are already registered, and there will be more. We still have a month until the event. So mark your calendars. If you're in the Kansas area, be sure to head up to Fort Riley on April 10th. All right. Without further ado, though, I do want to pass it off to our first presenter. We've got David Fink with the Plastics Pipe Institute. David, the floor is all yours.
Katie, thank you so much. Always a pleasure to get in front of this wonderful organization. I want to start by just thanking everyone for their service to our country. With that, I'm David Fink. I'm the president of the Plastics Pipe Institute. We are the largest North American trade association. So we are covering not only the United States, but Canada and Mexico. We're over 200 member companies, pretty much have operations in every state, the southern provinces, and parts of Mexico. So there's a wonderful opportunity here to, if there's an aspiration to get to a certain geographical location, let me say it that way, we probably have a member company that is in need of someone with your skill sets. So please feel free to reach out to me at the conclusion of this. Today are 2 of our member companies, Performance Pipe and Pipeline Plastics. We'll let them do their own introductions and so on and so forth. But just to give you a little bit of background on PPI, if we could go to the next slide. We are, again, a large organization. Our membership is made up of not only pipe and fittings manufacturers, but also the equipment suppliers that allow those manufacturers to make these products. And we also have some of the raw material suppliers, whether it be a large petrochem or resin company like Chevron Phillips or Dow Chemical, or even some of the additive suppliers. So with that, you'll hear from two of our member companies today. Again, 2 out of the 200. They'll provide a little bit of their company background, location of their plants, a little bit of overview of their operations, and potentially even some of their open positions. But this is a growing sector in the construction industry. Our infrastructure in our country has lived its usable lifetime in most cases. A lot of this infrastructure was installed back in the early 1900s during World War I and has more than exceeded its expected lifetime. So whether it's potable water or wastewater, sewer, natural gas distribution, fiber optic conduit to protect the Wi-Fi or broadband coming into your home or office, or even the roadway drainage that keeps you safe whenever it rains and pulls all that water off the road so that it is safe to drive. We've got piping solutions just for about any application that you can think of. So let's go to the next one, please. Again, with membership all across North America, we're in a great position if you're looking to, find a new home or occupation, career, if you will, in any of the United States and or provinces of Canada or parts of Mexico. Again, please reach out to me. There is a video here as well that gives you a little bit more of an overview on what the plastic pipe is all about. But as you can see, again, our membership being not only just the pipe and fittings manufacturers, but other companies that are related to the North American infrastructure, underground infrastructure industry. Next, please. So we have 5 market-facing divisions. The 2 companies here today represent, a few of these because we find that, pipe manufacturer can sell a pipe into an energy solution, sometimes just as easily as they can into power and communications or municipal and industrial. But we are a market-facing trade association. So the energy piping systems involves everything from oil and gas gathering, which the current administration, according to last night's presentation, is drill, baby, drill. So we are looking at some increased demand in that segment. But downstream is also the natural gas that comes to, heat your home or fire up your grill in the backyard. Whether it be, lined in or even the propane that could be used in the propane tanks. Our building and construction is piping typically inside of a home or commercial building. So think about hot and cold water plumbing applications. But in addition, there are some snowmelt systems, geothermal, other green energy that has come about that we're using and harnessing, steam, for example, or, the heat and cooling aspects of drilling down into Mother Nature and allowing that earth, to either heat or cool our homes through geothermal. Our drainage is corrugated pipe. You've probably seen some of this if you've been driving, if they're pulling concrete out, which it competes with. This is really for roadway drainage, but also meets applications like agriculture. So if you're in a really rainy area and you need to pull that water out of the field to keep from the roots rotting whenever there's too much rain, it really helps with crop yields and agricultural applications just as much as it does for roadway drainage. Power and communications, pretty simply, this is a conduit that protects that precious fiber optic whenever it comes to broadband or Wi-Fi services for internet, and or could even be power cables that it's protecting. And then last but not least, our municipal and industrial division. This covers everything on the municipal side from drinking water or potable water to wastewater, and then industrial applications like mining. It could be fire service protection, industrial type applications of moving fluids inside manufacturing plants. So pretty much if you have a substance you need to move, we have a piping solution to do it. The next slide is really just some of the progressions that I wanted to outline. This is an industry that you don't come out of college understanding how to manufacture pipe or fittings. This is going to be on-the-job training, but just because you may be coming in the door as an operator doesn't mean that you don't have the ability to really move up through the ranks as you learn the skills that are needed to do so. So this is just some examples of potential progression from maybe starting out in the manufacturing side of things as a line operator, moving up into more of a leadership role as a supervisor, potentially even a production or plant manager as your skill sets increase, Or I know there's a lot of folks that maybe are coming out with, electrical or some sort of maintenance background. This is a highly sought after position in our industry. The equipment is rather sophisticated that is utilized for making the product. So our maintenance technicians and supervisors are highly sought after in our industry. If you're into logistics, this is a great example of maybe coming in as a shipping supervisor or even, a shipping manager or customer service. It provides an opportunity, just like you've moved items throughout your time in the service, to be moving, pipe and fittings to the contractor or wherever it's needed on site for that installation. And even administrative sides of things. A general admin has the ability to, again, kind of move up into either shipping or customer service. So just some examples of some career paths. And I can say from my time having been a manufacturer, this is reality. These folks are growing. As they grow, they may be opening a new plant. So maybe a production manager gives the opportunity for him to slide or her to slide into a plant manager role. That opens a shift supervisor up to maybe a production manager. So this really does occur. Again, it is a growing industry. Our infrastructure is in dire need of repair. And it's something that not only with rehabilitation, but with a number of new housings that need to be built, with, again, the current administration's desire to bring more of our raw material mining back, our energy market back into the states. These are going to create really good growth curves for our industry here moving forward. So with that, I think that's my last slide. And actually, I guess not. I touched on some of these already. I apologize. But again, the future is bright. Everything from demand of polyethylene and PEX for piping materials, for potable water. You can see, again, the infrastructure builds with both housing builds and rehabilitation of our infrastructure. The expansion of internet, there is a lot of money that is being spent post-COVID because none of us had enough broadband. If you were home with a spouse or children that were, pulling on that broadband, it may have been tough for you to do your job. And that doesn't even mention the underprivileged communities that still need access so that their children can be educated appropriately so that people have opportunities. And then with any infrastructure, our highways and bridges are in as much need as anything in repair, and that will also continue to drive demand for our corrugated pipes for drainage and culverts. So with that, I will turn this back and I will introduce Randy Pritchard with Performance Pipe, again, one of our member companies. Randy?
All right, thank you, David. I'm Randy Pritchett. I'm the plant manager at one of the Performance Pipe locations. Performance Pipe is a division of Chevron Phillips Chemical Company. We're one of the largest producers of polyethylene piping products in North America, with over 50 years of performance. We serve several different markets: natural gas, industrial, municipal, mining, oil field, and utility applications as well. Next slide, please. As I said, these are the major markets that we serve. The gas distribution consists of the natural gas, liquid petroleum gas, and propane. Energy segments are oil and gas gathering, biogas, processed water. Industrial is mining, fire, water, slurry. And the municipal is potable water, wastewater, sewer. High temp products we offer are products that typically go into a lot higher temp service than what is normal. And we have a couple of product lines there. And we have molded fittings that we offer through our company. Next slide, please. Performance Pipe has 6 pipe plants located across the U.S. Reno, Nevada is the westernmost. Pryor, Oklahoma, where I'm located. Brownwood, Texas. StarTech, South Carolina, Knoxville, Tennessee, and Hagerstown, Maryland. The fittings facility that we have is in Bloomfield, Iowa. And our headquarters for Performance Pipe is in Plano, Texas. Performance Pipe places a lot of value in the safety aspect of our manufacturing process. We have a safety record that is among the best in our industry, and we continually strive to improve that. Respect is a key value. We always treat everyone with respect to ensure that we all have positive, fulfilling work experiences and contribute our best efforts and ideas. We as a company operate through integrity in every aspect of our business. That includes how we interact with our customers, our communities, and each other. And we have a drive to succeed. It's the foundation of our culture, a trait we all share, and the reason we continue to thrive as a company. Through our company, we place a lot of value in the uniqueness of each person. We have employee resource groups. One that we have that I'll highlight, we have several for different parts of our company, but we have a employee resource group called VetNet, where we support veterans and active military members. It gives the chance for anyone who has had prior service or is an ally for those groups to meet, to share their likeness, and to continue to help their development through different processes that we have. Next slide, please. The career opportunities, we recognize the many contributions and sacrifices made by members of our armed force, and we are proud to offer veterans a place at Chevron Phillips Chemical Company, and specifically Performance Pipe, as they transition from the military to civilian life. The typical entry route is at one of our manufacturing plants in the production department. David mentioned earlier the typical lines of progression that we have at our plant. The very top line he mentioned there, that is how I have moved up through the organization. I started out 35 years ago as a production operator here at this facility, and advanced over time as I gained skills and also furthered my education. I was able to advance from a production operator to a shipping lead, then the shipping supervisor or quality supervisor, become the plant superintendent for a long time, and then become plant manager. So the lines of progression definitely exist within Performance Pipe. We recognize and promote employees to advance positions based on their skill levels and proven performance. So if anyone from outside comes in and has prior experience that may be applicable, they can definitely advance to leadership positions within our organization. We have opportunities in our Plano office for potential employees with advanced training or job experience. So as David mentioned, people with prior logistics knowledge, potential sales experience, they definitely have opportunities with Performance Pipe in that location. Next slide. There's my contact information, which can be shared. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me.
Awesome. Thank you, Randy. Now we're going to move on. And actually, so if you were not tracking, we did drop in all the career pages. The one for Performance Pipe is in the chat if you need to grab it. But let's go ahead and move on over to Mike Leathers to talk a little bit about pipeline plastics.
Hi, thanks, Katie. My name is Mike Leathers. I'm the CEO here at Pipeline Plastics, and I'm thrilled to be here to talk about some game-changing opportunities for veterans and for the skilled bridge about to be veterans that might be listening in and watching with Pipeline Plastics. You know, as someone with a military background, you guys know firsthand the skills, the discipline, the leadership that service members bring to the workforce. And that's exactly why manufacturing, and more specifically Pipeline Plastics, may be the perfect fit for veterans looking for their next mission. So the U.S. manufacturing, as I'm sure you've heard, especially if you follow Katie and some of their information, is facing a major skills gap. Companies are looking for dedicated, disciplined, and problem-solving leaders. Sound familiar? That's where veterans step in. Your ability to operate in high-pressure environments, follow structured processes, and lead teams makes you a natural fit in advanced manufacturing. The manufacturing sector is booming, especially in crucial and critical infrastructure. So Pipeline Plastics is on the front lines of this industry. We supplied over 50,000 miles of high-quality pressure pipe to key markets like you've seen, the oil and gas, the water, the mining, and other distribution networks. And we're on pace to do about 25,000 feet per year. So the manufacturing sector is booming, and especially in this infrastructure, where we've been doing some things in all these markets. And so you'll see here, our background is HDPE since 2011, and we've grown. We started in Decatur, Texas, and we grew up into the South Dakota, Belfast, South Dakota, and then back into West Texas, and then out to North Carolina, and now we're putting a plant in Idaho as well. So we manufacture 1/2 inch to 65-inch pressure pipe. And we do that and have a nice structure, and where we kind of feel like we're built for strength, performance, and sustainability is doing that across the large diameter spectrum in the higher pressure markets. So we have 250 employees right now, and we have critical competitive strengths where we have ERPs, extrusion technology, safety, logistics, and some of the other career growth opportunities that have already been mentioned. So I think sometimes it's, we like to talk about, oh, here's all of my locations and, here's some of the market sectors that we service. And I think it's important to understand, what is it? We like to say we're providing the basic necessity of life for people everywhere. And so what is that pipe, and why is it HDPE the right solution? So I came from a background in pipe, and I've done concrete pipe, steel pipe, fiberglass pipe, concrete pressure pipe, and now I've finally gone from the dark side into high density polyethylene, where we manufacture pipelines for pressure pipe situation. And I threw some slides in here. You can go to the next one, Katie, to kind of show you, why this is such a great product and why it can handle all kinds of applications. And the first thing is corrosion resistance. So if you think about, you can go there. So you think about that corrosion resistance and the other pipe types. So you've got metals, ductile iron, all these types of products that can corrode and don't have the chemical resistance. So that's a perfect pipe and something that you can feel proud of as a company and a manufacturing in this industry, providing some folks. And then how do you put those pieces of pipe together? And this can be key. And this is what we love about this product is it's actually fused together. So in the field, they fuse this pipe together. And so instead of trying to put bell and spigot and have gaskets and all kinds of things that can fail and have pinch gaskets, rolled gaskets, water infiltration, exfiltration, everything else that then all the taxpayers and constituents are paying for, this product is one solid pipeline that's stronger at the fusion point than it is in the actual pipeline. Next. And it's tough against, and what this does for it is not only is our pipe have flexibility and structure, but those fusions do too. And so these pipes won't pull apart when there's ground shift events. So whether it's a seismic event or something of that nature, this is a great pipe for that. And when we're installing it, the other great piece of this is that flexibility also offers you the ability to go around other pipelines that are in the ground. Things come up all the time where they go in and they do these projects, and they have, instead of having to get fittings and wait and change orders, they can do some flexibility with this pipe, and this pipe can actually bend radius. You can actually put this pipe all the way around your cul-de-sac without a fitting need for these diameters. Next. The other thing is its durability and its impact. So impact resistance can be important. We like to say that we'd like to make pipe that's contractor proof. While we love our customers, we know they can be hard on our products, and they roll them off the trucks and bang them around with forklifts and everything else. And that can cause a lot of damage and delaminations to other pipe types, where our pipe is resilient and tough against that impact, as well as the temperature. So even if there's freezing temperatures, and you'll see and hear about pipes bursting and having issues during Freeze-Mageddon down in Texas a few years ago or other places, this pipe has the flexibility and ability to handle those types of temperatures and those types of environments. And then it's got a nice operating pressure, an occasional surge and recurring surge that it can maintain. So when you think about it, like you'll have people that shut off valves, or you'll have some water hammer or cyclical fatigue, and these pipes just aren't susceptible to that. And we've seen it a lot lately where you get water restrictions in certain communities and things of that nature. And so they say, oh, everybody needs to water that's an odd number house on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and everybody that's an even number house on Wednesdays and Mondays. The problem with that is now you got a lot of switching on and off of valves, and it's banging what they call water hammer in the pressure in the pipelines, and that can destroy pipelines. So again, it's a beautiful product that both Randy and I and the rest of the association produce, and that you can be proud of possibly becoming a part of, as well as once it's in, it requires low maintenance. So you don't have the scaling and the things that can cause problems and have to have ongoing maintenance and everything else, as well as all the impressed currents and things that can cause corrosion. They don't have to have the anodes and everything that a metallic pipe might. So we've been, we're kind of built to last. What you see is that demand is growing for pipelines, and you're seeing a lot of expenditures. Those blue lines is kind of an eye chart, but just to show you that it's continuing to expand and forecasted capital improvements across the North America. And then specifically in those states are some of the CapEx forecasted spending. And what you'll see is as Pipeline Plastics and HDPE, we started, like I said, back in 2011. That blue line and those blue dots were kind of as we put in extrusion lines and capacities as well as locations. And so as the market's grown, we've grown with it. And I think it's important to become part of a family and be part of a company that can provide that for you. So we want to make sure that we are always having conservation and stewardship in our communities. And how we do that, next slide, is our obsession with excellence. And so what you'll see in our plants is we don't have water all over the place. We don't have water lines on the ground. We don't have electrical lines on the ground. We have very modern facilities with a lot of controlled environments for the water and the electricity to these extrusion lines, as well as all the computerized processes and monitoring the QC and efficiency with some of these latest technologies and the production. And also, as well as that production, we have redundancy production. Next. So we do provide you with leading edge technology. So the beauty of this is that while I would hate to have you come in here and take all this knowledge and technology somewhere else, we always feel like we lose only the employees we deserve to lose. So we want to provide you the opportunity to learn these kind of high degrees of equipment and processes and understanding, because we do feel like this is a great plastics industry. Go ahead. And as David pointed out, this is a report from David on PPI. These are our end-use shipping. And so you've got everything from conduit to energy to water, natural gas, and then the industrial mining and processed water and some other landfills and things of that nature. And what you'll see is conduit is obviously a very good growing market. Cyclical energy, a little bit, the black lines, and then the blue lines are also expanding, which we're really excited about because we feel like this is a great product for that market. And so we've done that by trying to grow not only to like the energy where this product started, but into the water and sustainability and markets of that nature. And we have to have that national presence. And so one of the things that we're doing is our latest opportunity is in Rupert, Idaho, where we're building a new facility that'll have 65-inch and down. We had the groundbreaking a few weeks ago. I'm going up there again next week. We've got constant, they're putting up the metal building right now, which is great. And so this is an opportunity if we have any folks joining from the Northwest. This plant will be online in Q3, late Q3. Better be producing pipe October 1st or my board will be all over me. Next. So once this is in place, this is kind of our view of, and what I love about our plan is that we have large diameter across the patch. And so we want to be that leader in large diameter. We think this is the biggest growth opportunity for water transmission type pipelines and wastewater transmission type pipelines. Right now, I've got a 75-mile pipeline going across South Dakota for rural water. We're working on a big Colorado that's a 300-mile pipeline. And then we've got obviously pipelines in potash mining, industrial, everything else across everywhere. So you can see, though, we've strategically put a 65-inch line in the west, a 65-inch line in Texas. I've got a new 54-inch line, quick change out on the East Coast, and then I've got some 42s to support that, 36s underneath that. Go ahead. So the way we cover this and sell throughout North America is dividing it across. And so this is maybe an opportunity in sales or technical promotions for you. So it's just to kind of show you what that looks like. And our groups cover quite a big territory because we sell through distribution. So one distributor would be calling on, hundreds of jobs, and we're calling on one distributor kind of situation. So our footprint we feel is strong. So like I said, these circles kind of are where we can be competitive. We will go outside these circles when one of our customers needs it. But we have a nice patch, as well as you can see. This provides you all those dots are my competitors besides the red stars. So if you want to come work for the best, you won't go for one of those red stars, but there's also some other opportunity too. Go ahead. So back to you guys in the audience and your potential future with the Pipeline Plastics family. Military professionals thrive on mission and driven work, and Pipelines is built on these principles of strength, performance, and sustainability. These are the same values that drive military success. Veterans aren't just employees at Pipeline Plastics, they're leaders. Many have transitioned from frontline roles to production managers, engineers, and even corporate leadership. Just like in the military, Pipeline Plastics prioritizes precision, efficiency, and teamwork, from quality control and safety to cutting-edge technologies and automation. So the military and military experience and roles will give you hands-on problem solving, troubleshooting, and process optimization in our production and engineering. We'll have some managing materials, to streamlining workflows, and ensuring mission success in our operations and logistics. And then from our supervisors to plant managers, we value strong, decisive leadership in these type roles. So we've got various opportunities and entry points. I think we've kind of all covered this, and you can read through this slide as you want on where some of these specifics are. But as I think both Randy and both Randy and David kind of emphasize is that you may not come straight out of college. Next slide, please. But what we have too is we have a career progression program. And we love this where we're not just offering a job, we're offering a career, and we have a structured and training development program where you can move through it and become from a technician extrusion all the way to a leadership role, just like in the military. And that every time you level up and learn more and contribute more, you can add dollars to your hourly pay and things of that nature. Next. So, besides making a great product you can be proud of, I want to talk about what might matter to you, and that's sustainability, security, and benefits. And we offer competitive pay, healthcare, 401k matching, bonuses, and other growth opportunities. Next. So just like military, success in manufacturing is all about teamwork. Pipelines is committed to hiring and supporting veterans as they transition into a thriving industry. So we'd love you to apply today. If you're looking for a career that values your skills, leaderships, and work ethics, Pipeline Plastics is ready for you. And this slide kind of shows you what your steps would be. Your next mission starts here, so let's build something great together. And just like to thank you for your service, and then you can flip it back, Katie, if they want to take a picture of that QR, or they can get it some other time.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. Thank you both for that wonderful presentation. So let me go ahead and bring everyone back up. Getting everyone ready. Let me find David. And actually what I'll do is we have dropped in the contact information for Tesma. We've dropped in Randy's. We've also dropped in the career pages for both companies as well as PPI's website. And so feel free to start to peruse those. And if you guys have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Let me go ahead and stop sharing so you can see all of us. And I will bring up David as well. All right. So I did have one question right off the bat in the chat. Mike, I think you mentioned it, but where was the plant in Idaho that it was the new one that's proposed? What city?
Rupert, Idaho, which is 2 miles from Salt Lake City, 2 miles from Boise, less than 2 miles from Idaho Falls.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you. So I know that question had come up. I did want to talk to you guys or ask you guys some things about positions, because I think that's something a lot of our folks tend to struggle with is, where do I see myself fit in? Can you talk a little bit about the different maybe functional areas of your company and kind of roles and responsibilities to help them identify, what those are? I know, Mike, you talked about the sales, maybe talk a little more about their roles and responsibilities, talk a little bit more maybe what your maintenance teams do, and other kind of key positions that you have in your companies to help them see where their skills and experiences might fit. So I hope that question makes sense just to help educate
It
them
does.
on the companies. But Mike, if you want to start, and then we'll pass it over to Randy after you.
Okay. So with us, there's obviously get in touch with Tesma and we can give you the roles and responsibilities of the various positions. We can also tell you what kind of the skills, traits, experiences tend to be most successful in our organization, and we kind of try to put you where you'll succeed and give you the support to help you succeed. We also do a thing called the Culture Corporate Index, where we will identify traits and we'll provide you those traits, and we're happy to do that for you, whether or not you want to work for us. I think it's great. I do it. I've done it with my wife. It helps you understand where what your super strengths are as well as your kryptonites. And I would encourage anybody on this call, just reach out to me or anybody on our team, and I will send you a free 10-minute survey and give you the answers. And you might it might surprise you, but it might also guide you to your point, Katie, on okay, hey, this is the kind of, I want autonomy, or I want social, or I want quick pace, or I want to think about it. I mean, those are key things for us, and we kind of have identified where those might work and not work, as well as making sure that the folks around you know what your tendencies are. Because if you want to think about things, and I go in and say, hey, what's your decision right this second? I need to understand that this is the person that I go, hey, Katie, I need you to think about this and give me your answer tomorrow. Does that answer it?
Yeah, no, that's great, Mike. Thank you for that, Randy. What about you?
We have positions as Mike mentioned in our manufacturing plants, entry level positions. We also have, as David mentioned, definite needs for the maintenance groups, people who come with that kind of skill set. The link that you put on the in the chat is actually the CP Chem, so it lists not only performance pipe but CP Chem as well. So there's a vast array of different positions open, anywhere from the manufacturing plants themselves to even at our corporate level, different logistics, project-oriented roles, things of that type. So we have something for everyone. So whatever your skill set may be, your strength, or whatever you may be interested in, you can definitely take a look at that website and look at what the job requires and see what may potentially interest you. So.
Awesome. Thank you both. David, not sure if you have anything to add in terms of maybe roles that you've seen folks and maybe help them understand in the industry.
Yeah, again, I know this has come up in past Heroes Connects is, this is what I did whenever I was serving in the military. How does that translate into an opportunity in the plastic piping, manufacturing segment? If you've got the ability to learn and be dynamic. There are very few days where the same thing is identical to the day prior. So it's an exciting industry to be a part of from that standpoint. If you're willing to learn and progress, if that's something that you have upward mobility aspirations, those exist in this industry. Again, these are two great members out of 200 that we have in this association. So they outline their opportunities and some of their locations. But again, I wanted to highlight, and I think Randy said it. There's something for everybody, and we have locations, spread out across North America.
Awesome. Thank you, David. Mike, do you have something to add to that?
Well, yeah, just besides the fact that these are the two best members of the 200, that we also, one of the things and one of the reasons maybe that that slide is good to view of all the locations across North America is things happen, and sometimes a spouse or something gets transferred, or there's a family need or whatever. And you have an opportunity with the company to move across to different locations. But if I don't have something there, we've got connections through David and through the industry to say, hey, there's a great company right there that'll help you out. And we're pretty good family like that, and
Yeah.
like to support that. Just, I think that's important. And it goes beyond just pipe manufacturing, because once you understand how to do extrusion, you're opening up all kinds of opportunities across plastic manufacturing.
Yeah, just to build off that quickly, Katie, and Mike makes a great point. It is really unique that this industry will, fight over that open ditch to get their pipe product in it, but we really do come together as a family. The trade association is proof of that. The groups work very well together to collaborate, to move this industry forward, to provide each one of their, companies opportunities. And to Mike's point, it is remarkable to see that competitors will help each other out in a number of different aspects. There was a tragedy last year with some of the floods that came from the hurricanes, and it almost brought me to tears how quickly our industry reached out to those manufacturers that were impacted, that had lost everything. And they were just wanting to know how to help, bottled water, blankets, housing, what can I do to get over there and help these folks out? And this was a direct competitor of theirs. So it's a great industry to come into.
Awesome. Thank you all for that. I think that's wonderful, and it probably resonates with a lot of our folks to hear that. If maybe these two companies aren't in the location they're going to, David, how do they look for the full list of 200, and where are they at? And can they contact you to maybe help narrow down the list of where they're going?
Yeah, so if you go out to the plasticpipe.org website and you look in the About section, you have our list of members. Those are live links to each one of our member companies, so you can click on those. Most companies have their contact information there, their locations, their headquarters, and their manufacturing sites. So I would ask, do a little homework first. That stated, I'll be happy to try to carve out a few minutes to say, hey, I want to go to this town. Well, we may not have somebody in that town, but I guarantee we have somebody in that state. So, if there's an area of interest, feel free to reach out, and I'll do my best to get back to you. But yeah, if you have a few minutes, do some homework. All of our member companies are outlined on our site.
Awesome. Thank you, David. No, that's wonderful. And like I said, I think just the industry probably speaks to some of these folks, and I think there's going to be some interest. I do have some follow-up questions regarding positions when it comes to how these folks get into the roles. Are you all companies where maybe someone could apply more directly into a leadership role because maybe they have 10, 15, 20 years of military experience, or do they need to really come from within and grow within the industry in the positions? How does it work at your two companies? Do you go right into leadership, or do they have to grow within?
You can go right into leadership if you've got the experience in our. We hire all the time. We actually sometimes like to hire from the outside that don't bring some of the baggage of and preconceived notions and everything else. Nothing drives us more crazy than we do it that way because we've always done it that way. So we love to have new ideas and folks of that nature.
It's the same for us as well. You have an opportunity to grow if that's what you choose to, but if you have that skill set that you bring to the table, we're definitely willing to look at anyone and give them the opportunity to possibly assume a role that they're ready for. So opportunities are definitely there.
Awesome. I love that. And how do you all view in terms of positions? I haven't gone through all the postings, obviously, but some of these folks come out of the military, 15 years experience with no degrees, right? So how all do you value experience versus maybe a degree for a position in terms of qualifications? Either of you want to start? Randy, you want to start?
I can start. I mean, the sometimes the school of hard knocks is a good thing, so you definitely do not have to have a degree to assume a certain role. We have individuals in our company that have progressed up through based strictly on their performance versus what any piece of paper that they may have. So, the piece of paper may prove that you've got that dedication to go that route, but it definitely doesn't limit you.
Yeah, very similar with us is, it'll have education suggestions on positions, but experience, dedication, drive. We always say if I get somebody that's got the will, we can teach them the skill.
Perfect. Love to hear that because I know that's a concern for some of our service members.
David Fink made it in this industry.
Hey, I grew up on a dairy farm, so anything's possible, right? And yeah,
He likes the
I
Steelers.
would, yep. I would echo what Mike and Randy stated, and that is, again, there is no degree for making plastic pipe. So if you're willing to learn, if you're willing to be flexible, and this industry will teach you. And we are suffering from the same issue that every other industry is suffering from, and that is there is a lot of experience that is set to retire. And in the next 5 or 10 years, this industry, like many, there's going to be a lot of upward mobility opportunities for individuals willing to come in, get started, whatever level they come in at, and progress. And it is a skill set. I mean, this industry is growing. We're roughly adding a pipe plant per year, if not 2. So you can imagine each one of those pipe plants comes with roughly probably 40 new employees on everything from entry level up to plant managers, from shipping to customer service to maintenance. So there's a lot of opportunities coming up in this industry in the near future.
Awesome. Thank you for that reminder, David. Yes, that's something very important to remember about our industry is there's a lot of more senior folks who are looking to retire. So that opportunity is just there. So we just got to get our foot in the door in one of these companies and really grow forward. And of course, plastic pipe isn't going anywhere. This is a very solid industry that's not looking to go anywhere. We need it very, very much so. So I do have another question that was messaged to me about kind of operation wise for your guys' companies. Are you guys 24/7 operations? Are we Monday through Friday? What does the shifts look like? Can you talk a little bit about if someone was to go into your facility, what's kind of the schedule you can anticipate?
Yeah, all of my facilities are 24/7. So you're doing 12-hour shifts. You got a 3-day weekend every other weekend, 3-day weekend every other weekend you're working, kind of situation. I can't speak for Randy's.
It's yeah, we're the same. The 24/7 operation, 12-hour shifts. We do have our supporting staff, which would be our maintenance, our quality. Shipping departments typically work a day shift Monday through Friday. But the production operation itself, typically at all the pipe plants that you would come across, would be 24/7.
Nice. Good to know. Good to know. I think that works for some folks, and I think some ears perked up. 3-day weekend, every other weekend. The military, we look for our 4-day weekends here or there to have that extra time with their family, and so many of them are looking for that work-life balance. So to hear maybe something like that is helpful. I don't know if you want to kind of expand on maybe work-life balance, maybe that opportunity in your company.
Yeah, it's just, and so those shifts are 5 to 5. So you're either working the 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. or 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. Sometimes in some of the locations, the plants with their plant management will actually alter that slightly and say, hey, everybody wants to do a 6 to 6 or something like that. So it's not a hard and fast rule, but that's basically it. As far as the work-life balance, when you have basically 4 people that can fill that slot, it's pretty easy to have somebody cover you if you want to take off. It's just a planning exercise. And then as far as the work-life balance for engagement, we're very big on customer engagement. We do the family picnics and the cookouts and things of that nature, and have like little contests here and there. So it's very family oriented at the plant levels, and here at the corporate office as well. I'm right in Dallas Fort Worth in Westlake.
Performance pipe is the same. We a lot of our facilities are in smaller areas, so definitely become family oriented. So it's all about protecting each other. For us, a lot of employees with the long tenure that we try to get good people in, and we do everything we can to keep them, treat everyone right. Definitely keep that work-life balance there. Keep people happy. The workforce has continued to change, so we continue to adopt our things, alter our procedures, things of that type, in order to make it easier and more attractive for any potential employees.
Awesome. You guys are just
Yeah.
saying all the right. Oh, go ahead. Someone have David.
So that reminded me of that Randy brought up too, is that a lot of our locations are pretty rural locations. One being we need rail spur and railheads to get into the plants, as well as lower electricity costs and things of that nature. But it also, because it's a smaller community, we end up being a big part of the community. And so, we're looking at the high schools and trying to provide opportunities coming out of there. We're looking for funding the local softball teams and things of that nature. And then everybody knows everybody. So you have to make sure you're a good employer, and that you're providing the safest work environment and the right equipment and everything else. And so that's I think you'll find that across our industry is pretty strong. Obviously, the 2 guys on here are the strongest, but everybody else is okay. It's a fun industry.
It's a fun industry. Yeah.
I think that really resonates with folks, though, right? Coming out of the military, having your military family and leaving that community sometimes can be very scary for folks. So to know that this industry is a great one to kind of plop into and have a similar experience may be very comforting for them. And so I love that. Love to hear the family life balance, and then it's something they can look forward to. The shifts predictable. I think that's all something that they could really lean into moving forward. I do have one more question, kind of more of a technical, and this may be for you all, or it might be for them to reach out to the HR. But as you know, some of the transitioning military are a little bit further out. They might not actually be leaving the military till this summer, or 3 months down the line. What is a typical application to hire? Because they don't want to apply too early and then they can't actually fill the position for 3 months, because that's just how it is with their timeline. So for you all, what do you see and what do you recommend for them to kind of project out to apply to positions?
I recommend apply as soon as you can, and just let us know when you're thinking, because we track that, we keep files. We have various positions come available at various times, and so we're always hiring and looking for the right people. And there's no detriment to applying early and saying, hey, I'm not available for 6 months. Okay, great. And you never know. We may turn around and say, you know what, you might not be available, but would you consider taking some pay and start learning some things in the meantime? I would never wait. I'd get ahead of it.
I would encourage that as well. Just apply as soon as possible. I think we're both longstanding employers. We've been around for a long time, and we're going to continue to be here. So apply as soon as possible, and we're always hiring. Things change constantly in our industry. So
Awesome. No, that's a great piece of advice. And there's no harm in getting their name in front of you and starting that conversation early, even if that means, maybe this isn't the right position. There might be another one down the road, but that networking with you all early is important. Those were the questions that I had. We do have a few more minutes, so I'm not sure if there's anything else that you all want to kind of just broadly talk about, or any advice for them coming into the industry before we wrap it up today. So any last pieces of advice from you all before we wrap it up?
Katie, I'll start again. Reach out and explore opportunities, because there are tremendous opportunities. Just because you can't quite picture in your own head how your skill set translates into this manufacturing area, I am very confident that it will transition into some form of a job in the manufacturing sector. So don't be intimidated by, getting into that interview process and asking the questions and telling these folks what you've been doing during your military career, and let them help you identify that opportunity for you. Because again, I think you've heard from both Mike and Randy, they're hiring, and our industry in general is always hiring. And it's everything from succession planning given to retirements, to the fact that some people just don't like that shift work, and they don't know it until they start it. And then they quickly realize that, hey, as great as it sounds, having 3 days off for every other weekend, I just don't like working 12 hours straight. So, it's not built for everyone, but I think this group in particular has the discipline and the skill set to thrive in an active manufacturing environment. So with that, again, Katie, thank you and the Heroes program for this opportunity to represent our industry, or present our opportunity for our industry. And Mike and Randy, thank you for coming on today as well in support of this.
Yeah, our pleasure. Thanks for having us. The only advice I would say is, again, if you want to know more about it, just holler at us, because we'll be happy to give you a tour of the facility so you can see firsthand. And then just to kind of counter what David said, if shift work's not for you, just remember there's other options there. We have shippers, we have loaders, we have maintenance, we have QC. We have a lot of daytime, basically the Monday through Friday kind of shifts as well.
All right, thanks. Thank you for letting us be a part of this.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for being here today. I think they've learned some really great things. I've learned some great things today, and I'm excited for them to start to explore these opportunities that you all have. So thank you for being here for my employers, and thank you participants for being here as well. Let me just share my last slide, and we'll have a poll that launches if you all can take a few minutes to answer the 3 questions before you head out. But after this, don't let the conversation end there. Explore the websites, connect with these folks. We dropped in the contact information into the chat, so make sure you grab that before you leave today. But connect with them. They obviously are folks who want you in their industry, value your military experience, and can see you in their company. So definitely connect with them, take advantage of this opportunity. Be sure to follow their companies on social media. Be sure to follow Heroes Make America while you're there. And then last but not least, join us for our next event. In 2 weeks, we're going to be meeting with another association. So we're going plastic pipes today to semiconductors in 2 weeks. So we're going to have the Semi Association and 4 of their member companies join us on March 19th, again at 3 p.m. Eastern. So thank you all for being here today, but that's a wrap. We'll see you all next time. Have a good rest of your Wednesday.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.